Of course, we always bring you here on BBC Radio Wiltshire a word of the show. This morning is no exception.
Today's show is brought to you by The Word.
Well, our word today is scales. I'm not talking fish. No, it's that kind of scales where you breathe in and just lean a bit and take your foot off. Yeah, those kind of scales. Yeah, because we're talking about health and fitness today. Perhaps you made a New Year's resolution to get a bit more active maybe in 2025. So how's it going? Well, in Swindon, one fitness group is celebrating the success of their members in the past year. Man vs. FAT is a football club designed to help out-of-shape men sort of make healthier choices in their lives. Richard Crick is the head of Man vs. FAT, joins us now. Richard, I guess sort of explain what it is to begin with. What is Man vs. FAT?
Yeah, good morning. So Man v Fat is basically the UK's largest male-only weight loss community. So we put on a number of initiatives, including obviously Man v Fat football down in Swindon, and also Man v Fat rugby as well, which was new for last year, to basically help guys lose weight, but also to become more sociable, meet new people, be more confident. So yeah, it goes way beyond the weight loss element.
So who's it aimed at? Is it aimed at amazing footballers, or that's not the point of it, really, I suppose?
Do you know what? It's aimed at any guy who is aged over 18 who basically wants to take on their battle with fat. So if you've got a BMI of over 27.5, then you're welcome within our community. So, it is a men's health initiative, and one of the reasons for that is because only 15% of those who try and get weight loss support in the UK are male. And typically only 1 in 10 referrals for weight loss are for men from GP practices. So it's still an area where us guys aren't particularly confident in stepping forward, stepping onto those scales that you were talking about, and starting to take on that battle. So that's why we set ourselves up.
So, Richard, I guess there's lots of different ways guys could go, isn't it, if they're looking to get a healthier lifestyle. So why particularly football? Why do you think football is a good outlet for this?
Well, I mean, it's obviously the nation's favourite sport. Most of us will have played football at some point in our lives. And, for those guys who have been through the UK school system, needless to say, we're used to playing football. It brings us together and we've all got a passion for it. But we're also really competitive beasts. And the way in which we've sort of tailored Man v Fat football is that you're accountable not just to yourself, but also to your teammates. So before you play your football match with us, you actually weigh in on those scales, and then for every 2 guys who lose weight, you get an extra goal on the pitch. So that's why we chose football. But as I say, it's not specific to football now. We also have Man v Fat rugby in the Wiltshire area as well.
Now, we talked about the fact you're celebrating the success of your Swindon group. I mean, just tell us about that. How well has the team done then?
Yeah, so there's about 60 guys down at the Man v Fat Club down in Swindon, mix of ages, mix of sizes as well. Last year in 2024, they lost 400 pounds of excess weight between them. I mean, that's an incredible amount of weight. And some of the individuals there have gone on to lose 20, 25, 30% of their body weight. So, yeah, I mean, it's a huge achievement for those guys. But as I say, it's not just that weight loss for them. I think for so many of them, it's building new relationships or greatly improving their mental health, because, it is difficult out there for a lot of guys at the moment, and actually building new friendships and relationships can be just as good for them as shedding some pounds.
Rich, stay with us, because we can hear now from one of the Swindon team. This is Ryan Ford, and he's been telling us here at BBC Radio Wiltshire why he signed up.
My little one was born in 2022, and I found after the first 6 months, I was getting out of breath playing with him. And at the time, I was a big guy, shall we say. And I looked at several things to try and lose my weight, and nothing sort of came across. And at the end of the day, I came across something called Man v Fat on Facebook. And I looked at it and I thought, well, I love my football, and I signed up. My first week there, I was really welcomed in by the coach, Bonnie, and so everyone was really welcoming. It's all ages, it's all sort of weights, and you sort of go there a bit apprehensive, thinking, everyone's going to be fitter and everyone's going to be smaller than me, but they're not. And it's just a great group of guys trying to do the same thing as yourself.
And how are you feeling? What difference has it made to you, physically and maybe mentally as well?
Yeah, I mean, in myself, I'm more confident. I'm fitter. I mean, when I first started, I think I was nearly 18 stone. And my most recent weigh-in, I think I'm now 12 stone. So I think that's over 30% of my overall weight. And just that in myself, just being able to play with my son more. And it's not just a group of guys going to play football. I mean, it's a group of guys that I'd actually call close friends now. Man v Fat has really helped from just joining this club to maintain my sort of mental well-being and, let's say, my fitness.
So if there are any other blokes listening thinking, I do want to get a bit fitter, what would your advice be, Ryan?
Oh, it's never too late to start. I say I'm 31. I wouldn't call myself old, but I'm definitely not as young as what I used to be. We're members of all ages and trying to lose weight and improve their fitness levels. So I'd 100% recommend going to Man v Fat. It's a great bunch of lads.
So you've lost a huge amount of weight. Has your footballing skills improved at all?
I wouldn't say they're as good as my youth. Let's put it that way.
That's Ryan Ford, one of the team in Swindon. Rich, that must be nice to hear what impact it's had on Ryan's life.
Do you know what? It's lovely. And I'm so glad that Ryan talked about those sort of different relationships that he's built at the club and that sort of community element, because that's something that's really, really important to us. And we try and sort of echo that sentiment across all of the different Man v Fat clubs that we have across the UK. I know also, Ryan was talking about his age there and saying 31. I'm not too old, but we have a combination of ages down at the clubs, and I know from visiting the Swindon club late last year that actually we've got lads and dads down there as well. So we've got a lot of men who have signed up and then either dragged their son along or their dad along as well. So yeah, we do have that real sort of mixed bag of people coming along.
As you mentioned, we've been talking about football, but there's also now rugby as well available with Man v Fat as well here in Wiltshire. So people want to find out more. What's the best approach, Richard?
Yeah, so the best thing to do is either pop Man v Fat football or Man v Fat rugby into your favourite search engine. Pop it in there, will come up, and you can put your postcode in. Basically, you can then find the club from there, and it'll tell you what night those clubs are on. And then you can sign up and then go along. The coach will be in touch with you. And then you can go and meet your future teammates and hopefully start that battle with Fat.
Richard Crick, head of Man v Fat, thank you so much for joining us live on the show today, this Wednesday. And in about sort of 15, 20 minutes' time, we'll also catch up with the Swindon Town Football Club Community Foundation. Now, they run a football fan